Alright guys, we got a no heat call on a Train package unit. The battery on my phone's about dead, so hopefully this works okay. But anyway, it's no heat call. Since you heard a noise in it when it was running, when it would start up and cut on, it'd run for a while, then it would shut back off. Gas pack. So I have the thermostat off in the house. I tend to like to, with furnaces, just start them and run them at the equipment. This is a single stage. A little rust going on in there, but don't have a fault load lit on it. So let's get it running and see what it does. Alright, grab my jumpers. And let's see what happens. That may be the noise she was talking about. Going to sound like an inducer problem right there. I'll take the flue off over here on the side. Okay, I have a replacement motor, combustion motor for this thing. You gotta kind of get back in there. This pressure switch is a pain in the butt with these little 1/4-inch screws that they put where they mount the thing, but may be able to get it out without having to move that. But get this thing out. It's just 5 screws. New motor comes with a new gasket and 2 simple plugs, and we'll get it swapped out and see what we can do to make this thing run quieter and hopefully not shut off again. It sounded to me like the bearings in it in the motor itself are starting to be a problem. So that's where the extension comes into play. Typically, whenever I take limits and things out, I don't unplug the wires from them, because sometimes they're on there tight, they're old, they're corroded. Unless it needs a new limit, I take out the screw of the whole limit together, leave the wires on there, because I don't want to break the limit. So I'm gonna pop that screw out of there, and then I just slide the whole thing out, leave it connected to the wires. I may not have to disconnect anything else. I don't think anything else is going to be in the way. And sometimes you try to finagle it back through here and it'll snag one of these wires or something. So I don't like unplugging them from the gas valve either, because these cheap ass gas valves You just turn the switch off and back on, and it don't ever come back on again half the time. And so that's why I'd tell the guys, never turn off the gas valve switch. Always use your shut off valve to turn off your gas. So let's see here. Zip tie off. These are going to be my 2 motor wires. Train loves a zip tie, boy. I'd like to be their zip tie supplier. Pressure switch hose off. And oh, shit. You're always lucky when your screws on your draft motors aren't rusted out and the screw head stripped off on them. I've got something for that anyway if it happens, but reams, the bottom of the collector box on the package units is always rusted all to pieces. So this one I'm probably going to need a handle. To get back there. I'm trying to fit right between that little area right there. There we go. Nice. Some of these other units, if you've got the dual fuel setup, usually there's an electrical panel right over here. It's got your start capacitor and stuff in it, and then it tightens that up and it makes it harder to get everything out. And sometimes you have to drop that burner rack to get all that stuff out of there without I mean, it's easy. It's just a little aggravating sometimes, depending on which unit you're doing. So there we go. So the new motor should come with a new gasket. Train usually includes a gasket. Motors. So here's our new motor. Here is the old one. There's a bunch of rust down in there. That wheel's rusted up pretty good in there. Won't be too long before some of the blades start coming off of it, which is typically what happens. That wheel will come apart, and you guys have seen it. These in the carriers too. 48S, 48GS. The blades come off and shoot out the side of the unit. So let's get our new gasket in place. Right in there. New gasket in place. And there's some rust on the bottom of that burner rack. Probably been leaking out of the bottom of this motor. I know there were some of them had. There was a couple of years where these things were coming out. We had to pop a hole in the bottom of this. Train told us to do that. Some of them had the hole in it. This one doesn't. This may be one of the ones that we were supposed to pop that hole in the bottom so water would drain out of it. Oh, see, this one, brand new one's already got the hole in it right there. So yeah, they were supposed to have holes. You see, this one didn't have one for that water to drain out. The downside of that is it does what rings do. It drips right down on top of the burner assembly. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's package units. They sit outside. They're subject to the humidity and the moisture. They get hot, they sweat, they condensate. You got cold air blowing across the back of this thing in the summertime. There's going to be rust in package units. Some just do it worse than others. So let's get this motor in and get it turned on and see what it sounds like. Get that one in the top first. This one at the bottom. And the other screws should be all lined up. Just put them in. This unit is a 2017, 6 years old, so it was registered. We did install it. It is under warranty, so it'll just be a warranty repair charge on this one. Warranty motor replacement, basically. We just pretty much have a flat rate for that. Whether it's a blower or a condenser motor or one of these. Alrighty. Now, well, guess what I'm noticing? This new motor they gave me does not have the hose port on it. Go figure. Probably should have looked at that, but I assumed it was there. This unit doesn't have the one there anymore. And that one has to have one. And we did call Train while I was getting this other one off my truck to check that, and it's not in stock. But they told me the 1310 would work. I'll be doggone. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to put this motor back in, and we're gonna have to get our hands on that one. So we'll come back and shoot that video another day. Go figure. Yeah, guys, happens to all of us. Look at what you take out and look at what you're getting ready to put in. Make sure it matches. But yeah, there's no place on this draft motor. Goes in there perfectly fine. It's got the capacitor on the side of it. My 2 speed wires, or my 2 wires for it's a single stage, single speed, but doesn't have one of these. Kind of defeats the purpose now, doesn't it? So I guess we'll have to make another trip back here, and that'll be another video. Sorry for wasting your time.